Hello. Just getting some chapstick on. How is everyone doing today? I hope you're having a good day so far. Mine is a kind of a day. I've been very lazy all day. I slept in like crazy. It was no wonder my dogs were freaking out by the time I got up. Like, they're like, come on, like, seriously, Mom. I am getting ready again, trying to take one step at a time, okay? I don't know why I always have to make myself think about this beforehand. We're going to do the BB Flawless for our foundation. I will be adding some of the powders though as well. So today, my base face might be a little heavier or fuller coverage than normal. No rhyme or reason. I just feel like using these, but I also feel like I want to use the powders as well. And I usually do one or the other. You all are going to be so proud of me. And if you're not, that's fine. I'm proud of myself for remembering this. Okay, so I put on my mattifying primer, which I usually remember. So this isn't the proud moment. So I use this here, and like here is the majority of where I use the mattifying primer. Why? Because I have larger pores in this like area that this helps blur that. And I will use any product if it'll help me look better, okay? Am I vain? Maybe, I don't know. And then this is amazing for under here, okay? So a lot of times when you put makeup on, see all those fine lines and wrinkles? Ugh, crow's feet, whatever you want to call them, bags. Yeah, this does the very same thing for up here. This will help it to have a more smooth, flawless finish when you apply your products, your foundation or whatever, okay? This also does the blurring effect. So very, very important. Very, very, very. This, if I don't use this, I can tell. I'll just say. Now, maybe other people may not, but I can tell, and that's why it matters. Okay, so I did this. I thought this was like out. I was able to get a full amount for my face. I also put it like right here for those like, these are called something, but for that area. And I have lots of pores here and here. And then sometimes I put some on my nose as well. And then if I have whatever extra, I put it up here. It probably would be a good thing to help with like the fine lines that I have, but I didn't do that today. But what I'm so proud of, I use my eye primer, okay? Eye primer is a must if you have hooded eyes, okay? It's a must. I used to say it's just a scam. It's another product people say you have to have, otherwise your eyes won't look amazing. You don't have to use it, but it's a must for someone like me with my hooded eyes, because I've my whole life it just kind of makes me cringe when I see people's eye makeup like smeared or like these lines because of your sweat. Do you know what I mean? Or if you have the hooded eye, that does that on its own just because of the extra skin. This skin is that hooded eye part that I'm talking about. It lays on part or all of your eyelid. And so that is why I use this. That's the only reason why I use this eye primer. And it takes a tiny bit. I've had this, it's like full, like literally, oh, that scared me. Yeah, I know. Anyway, this is like seriously full completely, and I've had it, I think it was one of the last products I decided to venture out on because I was like, this is just ridiculous. Like, you don't need that. It's just another way to spend money. So I can't remember how long I've had this. At least 6 months. Anyway, who cares? This will last forever. It'll probably be expired before I even use it all, which is sad, but okay, there's that. And then also it gives your eyeshadow and colors a truer color when you use the eye primer. But again, and that's like icing on the cake, but the reason why I use it again is because of the lines, the creasing, and my hooded eyes. Okay, let's pull ourselves together. I'm not doing a major look today, but I have a feeling this is going to be a long video. And I'm not sick. It's my nose and my eyes have been really bad today. Our air quality, well, I don't know if it's really terrible, but I feel like it's terrible. We have fires all around us, and the smoke is heavy, thick. Like, I went outside to water this morning, and I could have sworn a neighbor had a fire going. It was that smoky. Excuse me. Anywho, I am going to try a product. I've only used it like once, and it was about a year ago. And it wasn't my favorite. So yeah, I know, I'm still trying it with you guys. So it's called Touch a la Mode Cream to Powder Luminizer. Illuminator Cream Effete Powder. And this is in the color Benevolent. Hopefully I'm saying that right, okay? So this is by Unique. Oh, it's upside down. So it's a stick. So this is like a highlighter, okay? Yeah. I didn't like it when I used it, but I just feel like trying it again. So here goes. Hold on. I have stuff like everywhere, but I need to move so I can put my feet up for a little bit. Okay, so the thing with highlighter, it's beautiful when it's used correctly, or if you have perfect, flawless skin. For me, I feel like highlighter highlights and brings out, okay? So when you highlight, I have to be careful where I put this because of my fine lines and wrinkles, just because of my more mature skin, okay? So a lot of people will highlight like here, okay? And then right when like the sun hits you, you'll see it, and it's gorgeous. But with see, I have wrinkles here. So what I try to do when I highlight, and I usually use a powder that you guys see me with this brush, okay? You're used to seeing me highlight with this. So when I do that, I try to go a little further back where it's off the majority of those wrinkles. So here we go. I don't even... I'm scared. So I'm also putting this on under my foundation because I want it to be not as noticeable or more natural. I just feel like it'll be too much if I put it over my foundation, but you can do it above your foundation if you want. Okay, so there's that. Let me actually use my sponge. This had a little of that translucent setting powder, so we'll see. I don't know if I like. I feel like it made like a super, like a line. I don't know if you can tell. So there's nothing on this side. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have done this here, but whatever. I'll try it a little more, and more on versus like that. So I'm just trying to blend this out. And I'm not going close to, I'm not kind of doing more of an outward motion because I don't want it to be closer to those wrinkles. And if it looks kind of funny now to me, it probably will be better when I add the foundation. Hopefully this music's not too loud. I feel like it got louder. It's a really good song. I've been listening, so I like a lot of types of music, but lately I've been on a praise and worship kick. Yeah, it's been really therapeutic for me. I've really been needing the positivity and remembering God's love. This world is so ugly, and I feel like I can't even get away from it. Don't know if any of you feel the same way, but yeah. I've been battling my own battles. And then I feel like the added craziness in our world is just making it so much harder. I don't know if I like this, you guys. I'm not loving it. And no, it doesn't normally take like this long. But I don't know what I'm doing with this because it's not, I've only used it once and I'm not liking it, I don't think. So, there's that. Let's get into the foundation. I am not as tan as I was because I just haven't been as good about putting the sunless tanning on, and so I'm going to just use a little bit of the darker one, okay? So this is Bisque, the color I can wear all year round. And this one is called Honey. It's too dark on its own with me. So I'm just going to get a little dab of it. But usually when I try to just do a little dab, because it's super full, because I hardly ever use it, I get too much. So let me just get that ready. And then this one is getting low. Okay, so I'll try not to use as much as I usually do. I'll show you just in a second. Well, I just got it everywhere. So there's that. Don't do that. So there's that, okay? I'm going to mix them up in my hands, in my dirty little hands that I got going on here, okay? You do not have to do it like this. I think I say that every time. Some people are very grossed out by me using my hands, or grossed out by yourself. You just don't like your hands dirty, and that's completely fine. You can use this. You can use like a cream brush, or whatever brush that works for you to apply it. I'll show you what I use if I do it with a brush. I like the finish both ways. I just feel like using a brush takes me a lot longer, and I don't like that. That's really, oh, I was playing around with colors earlier. I forgot to take it off my hand. I actually have the wipe here. So I feel like my under eyes have been drier, and so before I came on, so obviously you use your moisturizer, and I did that. I'm just gonna take this off here with my little wipey. But I also went ahead and put on my eye cream, the unique eye cream that I use every day. I went ahead and used it under my eyes just to give some added moisture to it right before I do my makeup. And then that's also another reason why I chose to use this, because it's foundation and a moisturizer basically, so why not get extra moisture there? So that's what I did. Okay, I already did my eyebrows, which is probably obvious. Let me do my contour first. I'm going to do a different color I haven't used in months on my eyes today. I'm gonna try this brush. Oh, sorry. This is the brush that I use to do the BB cream Flawless if I'm using a brush, okay? And then I put it in just like a little thing like this. My sister got me this. It's an L. It's probably backwards. So anyway, I just pour it in here and then mix it and apply it. And it goes on super well also. I just think it takes longer to apply it, but it works just as good. Okay, so I'm going to use this kind of a brush for my contour. I've been into a deeper, richer contour, and I'm not happy yet with the outcome on the colors I've chose, and so it's kind of a trial by error right now. I talked to my makeup gal, and she said that's one of the hardest colors to find that you really like on you. So I was like, okay, well that makes me feel a little better. I just thought I was being high maintenance on myself. You want to put it right under your cheekbone. So what I'm using right now is just our foundation, or no, it's not foundation. It's an eyeshadow actually. Like a brown eyeshadow. That's what I'm using at the moment. Sorry guys. I don't know. So, anywho, yeah, I'm definitely in some sort of funk. I don't like it. It's not fun to be in a funk. And it's hard to get out of a funk when you're in a funk. Like, I don't know. I've never thought of myself as like a depressed person until my mom got sick. Not in the beginning of it, I didn't feel depressed, but as the years kind of went on with her cancer, and I was the only local near her, the majority of it fell on me, the responsibility, which I mean, don't feel bad for me about that. I don't mean that at all. But I started just having a lot of anxiety and like depression come on because of all the stress and everything like on me to try to take care of her, if that makes sense. Don't get me wrong. I mean, she's passed away. God bless her. I miss her so much. I wouldn't have changed it for the world at all. At all. I really don't want to get emotional today. I'm trying to do my makeup, so. I don't even know why I'm telling you guys this, actually. So again, I'm using an eyeshadow, trying to figure out what I'm liking for the color. And it may be like, that's way too much, honey. I'll try to work it out. Another rule of thumb just to keep in mind is if you are someone that uses creams and powders, make sure you use all your cream-based products first before you use a powder. So like I have, like if you had cream, what am I thinking here? Sorry. Since I'm using a powder right now on my cheeks for the contour, now I cannot go in on top of that with a cream product. It'll muddy it all up. It won't look good. Yeah, so that's just something to keep in mind. Like if I had a bronzer, let's say, or a blush that was a cream base, you would want to do the cream base products first. Anywho, okay, so that's where it's at right now, so we're just going to say okay about that. I will just add a hair of this, a little bit on my nose, to try to contour it just a little bit. I did this yesterday and I liked what brush I used, but now I don't remember what brush it was. Is it this? It might have been this brush. So I'm just gonna try it. And I'm using the same color that I just put here, okay? I use this to try to help thin out. Well, that's why I do the contour also, to try to help thin out my face. That's why I do that. Because a darker color, darker shadow, not shadow like eyeshadow, but shadows make things look smaller. You know how like if you wear black, let's say, it's a thinning color to wear, like when you want to look thinner, versus white or yellow, or do you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm a little all over the place, so I apologize. I really do. So anyway, back to my mama that I miss so much. So dealing with her sickness, so for those of you that don't know or don't know my story very well, so my mom, I was taken away from her when I was 4 because she was mentally ill and was diagnosed with schizophrenia. So my older sister and I were taken away from her, went, and that's a whole other like story and how all that happened. But just for the sake of time, I'll skip that at the moment. So anyway, we were put into foster care for a very short period of time. And then my mom's sister, so our aunt, Ruth, decided to take us and adopt us and be our legal guardian. And so and I've had a relationship with my biological mom this whole time. She just wasn't healthy enough to raise us. You know, if you've ever had to deal with mental illness, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's hard to explain if you haven't lived it. So that I've learned to cope and deal with throughout my years. It was when she got cancer and dealing with all of that comes with cancer that kind of threw me over the edge a little bit mentally. And anyway, long story short, I got on medication, so now I'm on an antidepressant, and it has definitely helped me a lot. I'm talking so much. I've hardly done anything. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm going to throw some blush on. I'll do my bronzer first, actually. I'm just going to use Sunset. This is the lighter one. Just using one of my contour brushes. It's powder, what does it say? Powder concealer brush, maybe. I don't know. This is one of my favorites. So I'm just using it. I just love bronzer. Give me any kind of bronzer and I'll use it. I don't even know where I was at. Okay, so medication. And that really did help me out a lot. I mean, it wasn't like 100% cure-all. Because I was still dealing with everything I was dealing with, taking care of my mom. So taking care of her with cancer and all the pain and suffering she had to go through with that. And then also dealing with that with her, also having her mental illness was, God bless her, it's wow. It was hard to see. It was hard to see every day. It just broke my heart for her. Anyway, maybe I should stop talking about this because I'm about ready to cry. I'm going to jump in. Oh, it kind of matches with my supple blush. Let me get my blusher brush. This, out of all my blushes, this I feel like goes on the darkest. The two pinks that I use a lot, they're very buildable. This is buildable too. It just goes on the strongest, the quickest for me. So I have to be real careful. And I know this kind of looks crazy right now. It's a lot. Just gonna grab a little more. Again, I like to do that upward motion there. Let me get, sorry, my ear itches. Let me use our blusher brush actually and just blend these a little bit. When I blend, I do also that upward angle. I really hope, we're expecting a package for Brayden, my son. His birthday's in just a couple weeks. And I hope it gets here while he's not here, because I'm afraid he'll know what it is. Anyway, so my mom's passed away, and about, I don't know, maybe 6 months after, I don't know, I'm so terrible with time frames, you guys. After a while, I thought, okay, I'm going to start taking myself off of the medication, the antidepressants. And that was fine. I did really good, I thought. But I don't know, the last like 5 months, it kind of like creeped in again. Hold on. I know, sorry. And I think that has to do with, so I was, since COVID, not that I want to talk about COVID on here or anything about any of that, I've been isolated because we work from home. So now I used to get out of the house every day and have that interaction with people, and I don't have that anymore at all. I barely even see my friends. Not through work, but like just my normal friends and family. And I got myself in this terrible place, like funk, big time, with isolation and not wanting to leave my home and having my husband do everything. And that's a whole nother story. God bless my husband. I really hope he knows how much I appreciate him. Okay, let's do a little highlight. So this is where, so I've already put product here, okay? I do want to highlight still. So I'm going to use our Complexion Press Powder. I know, you know what it is. I use it every day. This is the color Scarlet, if I didn't say that. And I'm just putting it here, okay, to help the darkness. So it's kind of like a V is how I do that. You know what? Shoot. So, before I got on camera, I put on the eye primer. You need to set that. So let me set my eye primer. If you don't, you can get some creasing just by that alone. I don't really see any creasing though at the moment, so that's good. That's good. So I'll just use this brush. I just, I'm using the Prime and Set setting powder. This is the one that feels cold, almost wet to touch. It's not, but this also gives a blurring effect, which I don't think I really need on my eyes. But it is a prime and set, so it's kind of like a primer and a setting product all in one. So I love that about that. And yesterday I used this all over my face to set like my makeup, and because of the blurring effect, it's amazing. I love it. Okay, sorry guys. Squirrel. I don't even know, you guys. Ugh. So with COVID and me being isolated, I found myself getting myself in a dark hole kind of a place. And I'm still in it. In it as we speak. I'm trying. So I ended up going back on the antidepressants. I don't know, maybe like 2 months ago. I'm not really sure if it's helping. I'm on the strongest dose of the kind that I'm on, and so I'm not really sure yet. That's to be continued. I do like to do a little highlight in my T-zone. Okay. Let me just kind of wipe off any excess here. It's just a fluffy brush. Sorry, I feel like there's like a dog hair or something on me, which, surprise, surprise, that never happens, right? Okay, so now let me use my Kabuki brush, aka Magic Eraser, okay? And I just dab and meld everything together without muddying it up. This is what you use if the lines or the product is too much. It literally will fix anything. Just like that. Isn't that kind of cool? I just think that's so cool. So cool. Ooh, it's the fan, I think. Maybe I'll turn the fan off. I was burning up. I may have to turn the music down though. Okay. Eyes. I'm using this palette and one of the liquid shadows, Reverent. So liquid shadow, if you use our liquid shadows, you don't need eye primer, but I'm using this also, so I just went ahead and used it. And I'm going here, I don't ever remember all the names of these. Hold on here. So the color I'm going to be using in this palette is Inexpressible. It's kind of like a goldish color. It is this one right here, the top one. Okay. And then the Reverent is one of our liquid shadows. And it has a little shimmer in it, but it's like a neutral-ish color. Trying to think. I think I'm going to, when I use this today, I'm going to apply it with one of my brushes. A lot of times I just use the applicator it comes with, okay? But I don't think I'm going to today. I'll use my fluffy crease brush, I think. So anyway, I'm on medication. I'm trying to feel better, trying to get myself out of the house. The longest, oldest best friend I've ever had, Jill, talked me into starting to work out with her and go to a class. And for me to say yes to that in my mental state and like my darkness, was huge. It's like she caught me on the right day, and I was going to think about it, but I just ended up saying, yes, I'll do it. And I felt like in that moment, I either had to say, yes, I'll do this, because if I thought about it, I would talk myself out of it. Anyway, so that has been awesome. That's been really good for me to get myself out of the house. It's only twice a week. Right now it's actually 3 times, but it's going back to twice a week in September, so soon. So here we go. This is the Reverent Liquid Shadow. So this will dry fairly quick. I mean, it gives you time to put it where you want it, but just keep that in mind. But once this sucker dries, it's not going anywhere, which is exactly what I want. Oh, I have a hair. Isn't that color just pretty? So pretty. Almost swear I should just use it today. Goodness gracious, I have like these little hairs all over me. Okay, let's just do the other eye and then we'll play it by ear and see what we do. Yeah, so that's really helped. But I'm having a real hard time with with my weight. It's pretty much debilitating to me. Meaning it runs my emotions and feelings all day, every day. It's exhausting. It's really exhausting. And I just can't seem to get out of it. And I mean, I'm working out. I try to eat healthy. We do almost always our dinners are super simple, super healthy. You know, when I say that, I just mean a meat, veggie is the majority of our dinner. Every once in a while, we'll do like a baked potato or homemade French fries in the air fryer. So it's a potato. Like if we do rice or whatever, I don't do that. I just do the meat and veggie for the majority. If we do potatoes like homemade fries, I'll do that. And that's probably too many carbs. But my problem is at night, so I don't sleep very well. And then at night, I don't know, I just go into this kind of like eating frenzy and then feel terrible about myself the next day. And it's a stupid cycle. And I'm not saying any of this at all, I promise you, for you to feel bad for me or for me to be like, oh, pity me, because I don't mean that at all. I promise. And you don't need to waste your time feeling anything for me. And I really hope you know that. Normally I don't even share this stuff because who wants to listen to this garbage? It's depressing. It's like, go fix your life and then be happy. And most people watch people on social media because of, you know, they show the good moments, I guess. And I don't feel like I don't know. This is just me being raw and real at the moment. We'll even see if I post it after all this is said and done. Okay, so that's the color Reverend. That's the only color I have on right now, okay? And now let's go into that, what was that called? Inexpressible color. So this is, I think it's a cream base, right? A pressed shadow. It feels like a cream, but it doesn't go on like a cream. I don't know. Should I use my finger or use one of my brushes? Let's try a brush. I usually just use my finger because I don't care if I get my fingers dirty. But we'll see. I have noticed though with this palette right here, sorry, my back's like cramping. When I apply it with my finger, it goes on even more prominent. That's not the right word, but I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for. So that's what I'm using. I feel like when I use a brush, it goes on lighter, if that makes sense. So today's colors were it's a hot summer day here. It's almost 90. I don't know, I put this shirt on and I just thought, you know, we're right around the corner of fall. And so I decided to kind of go more like fallish colors. Okay, so there's that. Let me look up close. That's pretty. Okay, let's do the other eye. Anyway, so I'm a work in progress. I really just want to get myself healthier. But I guess, I don't know, I feel like I do good for a while and then I don't see any changes. And it just gets hard to like be good. And when you're in this stupid like depression state, you kind of like feel sorry for yourself. At least for me, I do sometimes, which I shouldn't. But then I'm like, whatever, I'm already like gross. I'll just eat that. I don't know if anyone else is like that. I used to take such pride in being healthy, and I want that back so bad. So I need to pray about that and get myself together. Okay, there's that. Let's look at the other eye. This is a magnifying mirror. You can just see a lot better. I can see a lot better, and that's why I use it. So there's that. I'll close my eyes. Okay. Okay. I think that's all I'm going to do for shadow. Except for, let's just highlight right under my brow because of my scars. So I'm using the pressed powder again that you see me use all the time for about everything. One thing about our products is they're so multi-usable. Like you can use these products for so many reasons. Just because this is like a pressed powder doesn't mean you have to only wear it on your face, like base face. Like I use it all the time up here. And it covers so well. I mean, I don't have a lot of like blemishes and things that I really want to like completely cover, at least in my own opinion. But for my eyes, the scars that I have on both of them, this covers it. And it's just like, it blows me away every time I use it, which I know, I'm silly. Little things in life, right? I also like it. Alexa, turn it down. Just a second. Alexa, turn it down. Sorry, guys. I just noticed that was really loud. I also like to use the complexion pressed powder here because of my dark circles. I don't really have, there's a little bit of product. Just to help lighten it up. Okay, so now I will just use our big fluffy crease brush, kind of meld those together. Just like that. Okay, then let's do, maybe we'll see if I can find it easy. my makeup fell and I don't have it all exactly put back how I used to, so just a second here. What color is this? Those are the same. So let's try Proper. I need to get my eyes checked. So let's try the color Proper. It's like a brown liner that we have. And I kind of need to sharpen this. Anyway, enough about my nonsense. What else? Okay, so I'm going to tightline here with this color. And it's hard to talk when I do it, so I apologize. The other day, I put this all on my whole upper line. I didn't like that. I normally just do from about here back, and that's what I'm doing today. Okay, there's that. Just a little more. And I'll clean up down here in a minute. So I'm not super like, I try to stay pretty even keeled on social media because there's so much ugliness and I just don't want to deal with ugly. And yes, I believe in God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit. I'm not a perfect person by any means. I sin all the time, and I'm not like someone that would be like, oh my word, they're like such a good Christian. I'm not that person at all. But I'm a believer, and I know the power of prayer and God, and I know I'm still worthy. Well, not worthy, but you know what I mean. And so I just really want to give this up to God and have Him, because if anything, anyone can help me, it's Him. So there. Okay, I kind of went a little overboard. Got it a little higher than I wanted, but that's okay. The other day I was at the workout class that I go to, and only a few of us ended up being there at the end of class because people had obligations and had to leave, and anyway. And there was only 3 of us that decided to stay to stretch. And I'm newer still, and I'm actually very shy. I used to not be shy when I was younger. And the older I get, the shyer I get, and more like introvert. And so when it's just a few of us, I get like that nervous feeling. I know. And the girls at this class, they're like amazing. They're so awesome. I'm so thankful for them. I'm gonna throw on some I'm getting a voicemail from some random number I don't know. It's probably just a junk. Your warranty has expired. Even though I don't even have a warranty on anything. But okay. So we're at the end of our class. putting on lash primer. That's what I'm doing right now. And there's only a total, so 2 other girls and myself. And it ended up being awesome. So awesome. You know, when you have a big group sometimes, I mean, you talk and visit and chat and be goofy and laugh and whatever. I'm using the Twisted mascara, the small wand right now, to get to the base of my lashes. And it's awesome. I mean, I love having our group, you know, the big, you know, not that it's huge, but you know what I mean. That's just normal. But it ended up being really actually darn special, just having it 3 of us at the end when we're just stretching. I got to know the girls in another like level, and we had so many things in common. It was unreal. I went to East Lynn as a kid when I was in school for 4 years, and one of the ladies that was there also went to East Lynn. Her husband went to East Lynn. And then the other lady teaches at East Lynn. And so our son went to East Lynn his whole entire life until he was a freshman. When high school came around, he and my husband and I decided that we would let him venture out and go to public school. So I put that small wand back in, getting the regular size wand. Okay. Anyway, so our son went to East Lynn kindergarten on, and his last grade before he went to high school was obviously his 8th grade. Duh. And this gal that I was stretching with, that I don't really even know at all, I've come to find out she teaches at East Lynn, and her first year at East Lynn, she taught our son. And so she was like, oh, what's his name? And I told her, and she was like, oh my word, I know him, and blah, 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 and on and on. It was just so cool. It was so, so cool. Just the small world, I don't know. It's just, I wouldn't have probably known that without having kind of like a one-on-one talk with the girls. And then also the other girl that she went to East Lynn as well. She was talking about the church she goes to, and it's in Sweet Home. I live in Sweet Home. And I asked her, I'm like, oh, is it, past this church? And she's like, that's actually the church. They just changed their name. Anyway, so she knows my aunt and uncle, because they all go to the same church. It's just funny. It's just crazy, like the things that we ended up having in common. And it just, I don't know, made me happy. It was just, I don't know, cool. Why I'm telling you this, I have no idea. Just sometimes you don't know what's going to happen, I don't know. Because I almost left. I wasn't going to leave, but I was really uncomfortable when I knew it was just like a couple of us, and to stretch and then leave. And I was like, oh, just because I'm so nervous, and literally it just gives me nerves to be around people, and I don't know what to say, kind of. I know. I do not have myself together. I'm, however old I am, old. and I'm a hot mess. A hot mess. Anyway, I was so nervous and it's so stupid. But then it ended up being a real blessing, actually. And then when we were leaving, it was just two of us. And I don't know how we got to this. But I ended up, she was asking me, I don't even know. I can't remember how it happened. But I ended up telling her about my mom, my biological mom, that I've talked to you a lot about today. And kind of her story, and my story when I was young and everything. And I don't know, it just was therapeutic. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to talk about things, that are sad, that make you feel sad, or, when you miss someone with grief and everything. But it also can be healing, in my own opinion. So today for my mascara, I used, or am using, the Twisted mascara. And it's the mascara that has two different wands in one mascara. I'm like falling in love again with it. I use the 4D a lot. Well, I use this a lot too, usually just the small wand, because nothing will get to the base of those lashes or to the baby lashes like the baby wand on our Twisted. So I almost always use that first, but then go to the 4D, which is amazing in its own right. But I'm just enjoying doing this with my Twisted the last few days. I just got a mascara on me. Oh my gosh. I just did it again. Seriously, you guys, it never fails. Okay, that is like it. Sometimes you just need to stop while you're ahead. Like right now. Okay. So I don't know if you guys want to see this again. So here is the big wand, or the regular size wand. I just think it's so cool. I'd love to show it. And then close that. And then here is the baby wand. See the little tiny wand? So it's perfect for the base of your lashes, the inner or outer corner if you have short little lashes, your lower lashes. It's just awesome. Anyway, so there's that. Now let me clean up my mess. So with your eyebrow pencil, use your spoolie. Let me see. Okay, so here's some mascara. You can just wipe it right off like that, okay? Little hair. You really need to wait for this to be dry. I'm just gonna go for it. It's probably close to dry. Okay, there's that. All my lip stuff is not in here. Let me just wipe this off one more time. So if you tend to be oily and you want, if you tend to be oily, I would recommend using a like powder, setting powder. If you tend to be dry, use a setting spray. I don't know why I just thought of that. It's because I was just going to use it. I am both. So I don't know. I use both kinds. Oh, why did I do that? So, but I really liked using the is it Prime and Set? Yeah, Prime and Set powder. You do want to shake it up to activate it. I just like the blurring effect with using this. Again, I like the blur. The blur. Okay, I'll just use this brush, I think. I don't want to use a whole ton though. It's kind of hard not, I don't know. I'm just trying to get, because there's a lot on here. It's so cool how it feels. Literally cool. Haha. That wasn't planned. Aren't I funny? I've been so not productive today. But, oh well. I got ready. I can't say I always do that. Kind of just trying to get any excess off. Okay, so since I don't have, I wonder if this would be too much. You know what? Let me exfoliate my lips real fast. I love this stuff. Where is... I really need to get a different plan. Here it is. For my brushes, you guys. My lips feel really dry. That's why I'm using this, to try to get any excess. Off. Okay. And then I'll just use this. Take whatever else you have off. So let's try this. This might be too much, but we're gonna try it. This is one of the lip butters. What's it called? Beach Bonfire. This color I love when I'm have my hair in blonde. I think it's a little too much. I don't know, you guys. I might have to tone that down. A little trick to help your lips look a little fuller than they are. Just to add a little color here. but not too much. I need to wipe this off or lower it. I don't know. I don't like it. Let me try something else. Normally, I don't know, it looks more pink today and it doesn't normally do that. Let's try it. Let me just add a little chapstick. I'm actually going to add a little setting spray. I think I needed a little more moisture. Okay, so since I don't have my lipsticks here and I don't want to get up, I'm just going to add some of the Reverent liquid eyeshadow that I used up here on my lips. So I'll just use this, okay? Let me just. I don't know how I like it either. We're just gonna keep it on for now. I'm not sure if it's like a thumbs up or thumbs down, but I think we got it. This is as good as it'll get for the day. Anyway, you guys, I'm so sorry. I know this was super long and probably sad and not the best. But it is what it is. And I just kind of opened up and shared some of my story with you guys. So, yeah. Anyway, I am going to go. If you have any questions on any of the products or anything, feel free to reach out to me however is easiest. You can, obviously, there's no pressure. You know, I'm not a pressure girl. And yeah, anyway, I hope you all have a good day and thank you so much for listening to me. I think I needed this more than anybody else needed it. So anyway, okay, I'll talk to y'all later, guys. Okay, have a good day. Bye.